Good morning. Well, it has been an eventful morning. Oh gosh. So you would have seen up, made myself my tea, made breakfast. I put chicken in the slow cooker for salads and that over the next couple of days. That was probably at about 7 a.m. and I sort of had finished breakfast and, was getting ready to sort of potter around for the day, and the power went out, which is unusual because there's no storms or anything at the moment. And it sort of had been out for, I'd say, a good half hour. And I looked on the power company's website, and apparently there is scheduled maintenance today, which I was completely unaware of. So I rang the power company and they sort of said, yes, no, we should have got a notification and it's out for 7.5 hours today. So I definitely did not receive a notification. And I've actually just spoken to a couple of people on our street here and nobody seems to have received a notification, which is incredibly frustrating, because the chicken has been cooking for maybe 3 hours now. So it's partially cooked, which means, unfortunately, I'm just going to have to throw all of that chicken away, which is so wasteful. And yes, anyway, very frustrating, but these things happen. And it basically means I'm just going to have a lovely, very kind of cruisy day without the power today. So luckily I've got a few things on my list, like on my to-do list today, that don't require any power. So that's really lovely. And as a result of me kind of just puttering around today, I thought maybe we could spend the day together and we'll kind of just see what the day brings. Because it's been the beginning of the year, I've slowly kind of been going through and, as many people do, kind of just cleaning up some of my, cleaning and decluttering. And I started on my shoes the other day. And I kind of took all of my shoes out and gave my shoes sort of live in drawers. So I gave the drawers a really good clean out, cleaned all of my shoes, and was actually super brutal in getting rid of any shoes that I do not wear. I was very harsh with myself, and if I've had shoes that I've just not reached for, I basically just donated them. Someone else will get, more joy out of them than what I'm getting. And sometimes you just have those shoes that are really nice shoes, but you don't reach for them for some reason. Whatever that reason might be, you just don't reach for them. Well, I had a few of those that I've been keeping for years. So I've donated all of those shoes, but I've got quite a few really nice leather shoes that are looking just a little tiny bit sort of worn or tired, and I've probably not been very good in the maintenance of my leather shoes. So I ordered, which I didn't even know was a thing, I ordered these leather wipes. Anyway, I'll explain more when we do it, but I kind of want to go through and do a little bit of sort of shoe maintenance today. Gosh, having to duck under the crepe myrtle blooms here, they're massive. So yes, I want to do some shoe maintenance today, and I also wanted to get in and clean my jewellery. I have some really gorgeous jewellery, but it's just, again, looking a little bit tarnished and it probably needs a really good polish up. So I want to do that today. I need to do some flower arranging, and I think it's just going to be a really lovely kind of potter about day, which should be nice. And I hope you will join me for that. I definitely think we'll be getting out into the garden as well today. Oh, it's just starting to rain actually. Today they actually forecast rain. I hope you can see here as well. Look at the big clear up that has been had in the kitchen garden. You'll remember it was looking super wild. So it's had quite the sort of haircut and prune back and tidy up. So it's looking very fresh. But yeah, so today is sort of the last partially fine-ish day, although it is raining right now. The last sort of partially fine day before they forecast rain, I think, for the next, quite torrential rain for the next probably 5 days. So I've got flower arranging and other just, yeah, little gardening bits and pieces. We bought some plants together last week when we went to the garden centre, and I wouldn't mind getting them sort of planted up before we get all of the torrential rain. But I'm going to pop inside now. I can actually hear that a car has just arrived, and I'm assuming it is my delivery. I got notification the delivery was coming this morning, and I'm very excited to see it. So let's head inside and open that. I will also say, I was mid through washing a set of sheets, and they are also now trapped in the washing machine for pretty much the whole of today. So they're getting a great soak, and they'll be nicely refreshed this afternoon when the power turns back on. So this is the last of my Boxing Day sale deliveries. The warehouse for this company actually closed all sort of throughout the Christmas New Year period, which is why it's taken so long to get to me. But I'm really excited to see what it looks like. I've never ordered anything from this brand before. So very curious to see. I'm hoping that this is really good quality and that I'm going to love it. I've opened it upside down. Oh wow, they've packaged it exceptionally well. So you can see here, the brand is Fox Fallow, and it is a new vanity case. Oh, let me pop you down for a moment and get myself organized. Goodness me. Let's just take a moment for this branding here. They've got all like sort of the gold foil there. Vanity case. I got the classic one, and that is kind of what it looks like there. You'll know I recently shared my new suitcase, which by the way I have now actually used. It has been christened, and it was incredible. Really happy with it. It is definitely a different kind of, it's just different. It's very different to my other suitcases, and I think it's going to take a little getting used to having the two, like the trunk style and the two compartments, but I really loved it. I fit everything in, but gosh, this is beautifully packaged. And so I definitely have been updating all of my travel. I've, you know, oh my gosh, look at this packaging. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. As part of January, I have actually planned a few trips this year. I booked a few things and I planned a few things that I am really, really excited about. And I think it's so nice, and I feel so privileged and so grateful and lucky that I'm able to do that. But it's really lovely to know you've got a few little things planned throughout the year to look forward to. So in saying that, I will no doubt share all of those trips with you. So I really hope that you subscribe, because there is some truly incredible things planned for this year. Oh my gosh. I won't go on about it now because I can't tell you too much about it, but there is some incredible things planned. So I do hope you will join me. Again, I cannot get over this packaging. It comes in its own little dust bag. How beautiful is that? Oh my gosh. I think normally this vanity was about $150, but they had their Boxing Day sale. So I think maybe I paid $130, $125, something like that. Oh my gosh, I love this dust bag. Oh, do I travel with it in its little dust bag? Oh gosh. Oh. Okay, I think I'm gonna need 2 hands. Apologies, I'm popping you down for a moment. All right, you're getting a little peek of her. Oh my gosh. The craftsmanship on this is so beautiful. I looked at so many vanity cases online, you would not believe. So all of my algorithms keep serving me vanity cases now with the amount of research I did. She is spectacular. I love the little handle on the top, how it lies flat. I think that is just such a great design feature. The vanity case that I currently have, it's not a hard case like this. It's quite soft and it's all just stained and squished and really damaged. So I definitely needed something new. And this is, I believe, does it say on here? Yeah, it's a pebbled vegan leather. And it's almost like a purpley brown color, like a plum, and then it's got these pretty dainty delicate little flowers all over it. This colorway was the wisteria colorway. Oh, and I really wanted a case that was a little bit like, it's got a little bit of squish to it. It's not completely rigid, but I did want something with some structure to it. And I really wanted, my current vanity case has 2 levels, and I really wanted to keep that because when I'm traveling, how I kind of organize my stuff is the top one is my makeup and the bottom one is like all my kind of skincare. I have to say, I don't really have a lot of makeup, so I don't need a lot of space for that. But I have a lot more skincare, so that, oh, I'm over the moon. The gold hardware as well. Oh, okay, let's open this up. Apologies, this is super hard to do one-handed. Oh, the zips are all really nice. So this is a completely online brand. I've never seen this before, so this is definitely my first impressions, and I am very impressed so far. So this is the top compartment. Oh, it is. So the outside's like a pebble leather, but the inside's, I don't know if you can hear that. It would be like a wipe clean. It's almost like a waterproofing, which is incredible. So these will be great for makeup brushes or eyeliners. I'm trying to think of what else. My mascara, lip glosses, that kind of thing can go along here. Or I've also got this little pocket along the top here to hold, you know, like cotton buds or you know, little round like makeup little cotton things that could all go in there. And there is actually some, like a fair, I don't know if you can kind of see, there's about, I'd say maybe 2 centimeters of depth there. So I think any of your compacts, like if you had a little blush compact or an eyeshadow or something like that, that could definitely fit in the top here. So I'm pretty sure, yeah, I'm not pretty sure, I am sure all of my makeup bits will be able to fit in the top. And then in the bottom compartment, they have the little loops again, all along the top. And again, it's that really nice wipe clean. And then in the base here, they give you a matching sort of clear plastic little pouch, like removable pouch. And that'll be really good for any of those, like, you know, your shampoo bottles and that potentially could leak a little bit. That'll be really good to have them sort of secured in something again, so it doesn't leak all the way through. So that's a great addition. It's a massively wide sort of space in here. I'm thinking my Eve Lom cleanser pot could go in there, and then all along the side, can you see it's got the whole way round these elasticated sides to hold everything up. I love it. I absolutely love it. Very, very happy with that. The next time I go on a trip, I will definitely kind of show you me using this and kind of how I organize my stuff. As I said, I'm definitely not like a really big makeup person. I don't have heaps of makeup, but this is perfect. Very, very happy with that. Oh, so happy to discover this brand too, Fox Fallow. They do a lot of like backpacks, pencil cases, all different vanity cases, wash bags, all sorts of little things. I think they have their website on here. There you go, foxandfallow.com.au. And you can see that was the original price, was 160 or 159.95. But as I said, they had a sale on for Boxing Day, so I'm pretty sure I paid somewhere between 120 or 130. But the quality of this, I was actually worried it would be too big, but it's not too much bigger than the one I currently have. I didn't want it to take up too much room in the case, but unbelievably happy with that. So I'm going to pack this away now with the rest of my kind of travel suitcases and bits and bobs. And then I'm actually going to be heading to a Pilates class. I've got a sort of traditional mat floor Pilates class scheduled. So I'm going to see if I can get my car out of the garage without the power being on. And we're going to head to the class. I'm actually really excited. It's my first one back this year, so I definitely think I'm going to be feeling it. Well, I have left the house. I've managed to get out of the garage without any power, and I'm a little tiny bit early for Pilates. So it is my very first Pilates class of 2026. I have been back in the gym and doing weights and things like that, but this is my very first Pilates class, and I'm doing not reformer. I'm going to be doing traditional mat Pilates today. So yeah, I'm just kind of chilling in the car, waiting to go in. I don't want to be one of those people that hover around outside and sort of watch everyone. So I'm just waiting in the car to head on in. Oh, I think this is going to hurt. I think it's going to be brutal. So wish me luck. And then after we've done Pilates, we're going to head home and I guess maybe just get started on a few of those little bits and bobs that I mentioned earlier. I do really want to finish off my shoes and just have that done and dusted. So maybe we'll sit outside somewhere and with a nice drink and yeah, try and, I think they're like leather conditioning wipes, which I thought is actually quite clever. So we'll see anyway how they work. I might test it on one shoe first and we'll go from there. But yeah, so wish me luck with Pilates. Well, first Pilates class done. Goodness, that puts a little bit of color in your cheeks, doesn't it? It was a really, really good class, a good workout, but not super, super challenging. So I'm going to head home now and yeah, maybe make myself a cup of tea or something really nice. And then I think maybe I'm going to tackle the shoes first. So let's do that. So home now, and I thought I'd just very quickly remind you of the plants we got together last week. I've got this one here to replace one that has died off in Rose Corner. Just some little sort of bitty ones to fill in. And then these are the hydrangeas that I was telling you about. So I've got the Runaway Bride. That is going to go in the pot. I'll take you around and I'll show you. And then I've got I've got a giant pink, which is this leaf, and then I've got this one here which desperately needs water. I've got a giant white. But how bizarre is it that they're apparently the same, but the leaves are really different? Can you see? Like there's that leaf and that leaf, but anyway. So we might try and get some planting done as well, but I think first off I'm going to tackle the shoes and just finish that sort of job off. just very quickly, before I head back inside, I wanted to show you, we planted this one up maybe 2 weeks ago now. Look how gorgeous. It's a Mediterranean rose. How pretty is that? And then this one here's got all little buds opening up. So hopefully soon we will have beautiful blooms here. So, as I mentioned earlier, my shoes are in drawers. I just like everything in my wardrobes to kind of be tucked away and neat and tidy. So I have 2 drawers on this side and 2 drawers on this side. This is like tan and metallic shoes. The bottom one's sort of like house slippers and sneakers, that sort of thing. And then this one here has my black open toe shoes, and the bottom one is black closed toe shoes, like ballet flats, that sort of thing. None of my drawers are full. I'm definitely not like a shoe person. I obviously have shoes, but I'm not someone who likes to collect shoes, so I don't have hundreds of shoes or anything like that. I feel I've got quite a nice selection of shoes. There are definitely a few holes in my shoe wardrobe, if you will, and I'm on the hunt for a really good pair of like leather ballet flats in black and in tan. I think that that would be really versatile with the clothes I wear. I think it would go with everything. I'd almost have like a little accessories edit that everything would kind of match, and it would just make life much easier for me. So yeah, they're just in these drawers. And as I said, you can kind of see there's just all shoes in there. I have already done the big kind of clear out, the very harsh clear out, and I have cleaned them all out, like actually cleaned the drawers out, and they're all fresh and nice and clean. But I bought these Oakwood Everyday Leather Wipes for surface cleaning and ongoing protection for furniture, accessories, automotive and vinyl. So I'm assuming this falls under accessories, but they're wipes. Who knew? But yeah, so I think what we might do is just grab a few of the shoes that I think need a little bit of care, a little bit of conditioning. And I might actually grab some gloves, like disposable gloves. I don't know how this product is going to go on, whether it's yeah, I don't want it to get all over my hands. But yeah, so let's have a little trial. Maybe I'll do one set of shoes, let them dry, and we'll see what this looks like. And then we might, it is really cloudy at the moment, so we might actually pop outside and just quickly get those plants in, and then we'll come back in, and I want to tackle my jewellery. I won't show you where I keep my jewellery, but I keep my jewellery in a very secure, sort of safe place, but just it's getting a little bit tarnished in that. So I want to spend a bit of time today, just kind of, my goal of the next couple of months is to kind of work my way through the entire house and do a really good sort of tidy up and clean, declutter. I think the beginning of the year is always really good for that. So I'm going to grab some shoes and then let's get situated somewhere and let's try these. So I have selected a very old pair of ballet flats in the event that this goes horribly wrong. And I don't know, the lighting is not the best, but can you kind of see it's really like the leather is just really worn and scuffed around the edges, and like on the back it's really scuffed. So I am hoping these leather wipes are going to kind of do the trick. So I'm just going to put some gloves on. Let's get one out and let's see how it goes. So this is what the wipes look like. I don't know why I was expecting them to be almost like a brown or a dark color, but they look, yeah, just like a standard wipe. So I'm just going to wipe them around the shoe and we'll sort of see, you don't need to watch me do that. I'm literally just going to wipe the leather of the shoes and we'll see how it turns out. Alright, test shoes are done. I will say, I don't know if I maybe, they've not like hideously damaged them or anything like that, which is positive, but I don't feel like it conditioned the leather as much as I was hoping it would have. but I'm wondering if that's because, can you see here on the side it says clean, condition and maintain, and these ones on the front, see they say maintain, so I'm wondering if these are more like, these wipes here are more for when they're more of a preventative rather than a cure. They're for maintenance. So I'm wondering if they also have in this brand conditioning wipes, because I've done the clean and I've sort of skipped that middle step of conditioning and gone straight to maintenance. Yeah, see, between deep cleaning and conditioning. So I think maybe I'm skipping a step. All right, well, this is good to know. And I mean, definitely they look much better than what they looked like originally. So that is a win, but I would like to give them a bit of a condition as well, in the hope that that will help them. So maybe I'll do a little bit more research on this brand and see what I can get in the conditioning sort of section. Just heading down to harvest some flowers before it starts to rain, and I've just wandered past the cucumbers, and I don't know if you can see it in there, but there's two very good sized cucumbers on this one and there's more on the other. So I'm going to have to very quickly just harvest those. Cucumbers harvested. And I am down here to harvest a few of these very pretty little flowers. You can hear that wind has really picked up. Wind has picked up and it looks like it's about to rain. So I'm going to quickly harvest these and maybe try and quickly get those plants in the ground before we head in and try and tackle the jewellery. Little bunch of flowers harvested. They're very pink ones this week. Pink, a little red one, and there's sort of an apricot one in there, but it is starting to rain, so I am going to get a wriggle on and try and get all of my outdoor stuff done as quickly as possible. The Runaway Bride hydrangea is in. Oh, I'm so excited. She should eventually get really big and fill out this pot and then almost drape down around like a bit of a garland. I think that is going to look exceptional. And you can see here, just starting to get a little flower. How exciting. Trailblazer pink, giant pink hydrangea in here. Just on the corner here of the white crepe myrtle bed, and then the Trailblazer in the giant white is just tucked in there at the back, so hopefully they will be all very happy. So just out here on the kitchen patio side, I've just given my little vases a clean out and topped up with fresh water. I've got my flowers here. I'm just going to pull off all of the bottom leaves and then just to, as you know, very just simple, pretty little arrangements that I can then pop up here on the patio area just to sort of brighten the space a little bit. So I'm going to get to work on that. There you go. Little tiny bouquets of very pretty, very bright flowers. Gosh, it's just so incredible. Mother Nature, always so amazing. Alright, I actually saw somebody, I don't know if it was on YouTube or Instagram, also cleaning their jewellery, and so that is where I've gotten the idea of how to do this from. So I've got just two very sort of old paper bowls here. I thought they'd be a good, good use for this. I filled both of them up with water, and then in one of them, I'm just going to be putting some dishwashing liquid. This is just the one that I use. So I'm just going to give it a good kind of squeeze of dishwashing liquid. And then I actually purchased, this was on sale, it's like a little tiny baby toothbrush. So it's really soft. So I purchased that, and I'm just going to mix the detergent through the water. They basically said that you can just drop your piece of jewellery in. So here I've got gold jewellery with gold earrings here with an amethyst. Hopefully you can kind of see that a little bit. It is super, super dirty. If the camera will focus. Ugh. You'll have to just trust me. It's really dirty. So I'm just going to drop it into the water. Get my little toothbrush. And then just give it, oh yeah, I can see. Give it a good kind of scrub all over. And I guess that this would also kind of give your jewellery a nice clean up as well. Whilst I'm doing this, I did Google the leather conditioning, and they do stock leather conditioning cream. They do it as like a cream that you can pop on like a rag or something. Just giving it a really good scrub. If I'm going to do this, I might as well make sure it is super clean so that I don't have to do it again. Anyway, sorry, as I was saying, they do have leather conditioning cream, so I have added that to the shopping list for next week. So I'll have to finish my shoes off then, unfortunately. And then this one here is clean water, so I'm just going to drop it into the clean water, give it a bit of a shake. That is much better than what it was. Does it need a bit more of a scrub? They were very dirty, which is why they were some of the first ones I thought I would try. And then I've just got a little rag here, and I'm just going to pop it on the rag. And then I'm just going to start cleaning the next one. I'm just trying to make sure I even get like in the back of the earring, you know, like sometimes stuff can just build up tarnish and that. So just trying to make sure I'm really getting it everywhere as best as I can. I will say they're very slippery, obviously, once they're covered in the dishwashing liquid. So there you go. Wow, it does actually look a lot better. That's incredible. Very, very easy to do. I'm going to try another one, and then we'll see how the end result is. So I'm going to try these earrings next. These are some of my absolute favorite. They are ruby and diamond gold earrings, and they've got that really pretty antique vibe to them. I think they're absolutely stunning. I've had them for such a long time. So happy to give them a bit of a spruce up, and let's see how it looks. I have to say, this is a very easy to do thing with, you know, just ingredients that you have already in your house. I always sort of look, and you know, when you Google it, they talk about different products, and they talk about baking soda, but you can't use baking soda if it's got these sorts of diamonds in it, and shouldn't use this for gold jewelry. It's all a bit overwhelming. But as I said, I saw someone, and I'm pretty sure maybe it was Instagram, and they were giving theirs like a really good clean. And I just thought, dishwashing liquid and water, super easy to do. And just stuff that I already have around the house. Right, let's see how that looks. I'm not going to do all of my jewelry with you, obviously, because we would be here for a while. Oh wow, that has come up beautifully. So happy with that. I don't think it'll come across on camera very well. Much, oh, we've got obviously no sun today with the rain, but that is looking beautiful. Oh, I'm so happy. Well, this is your sign. If you have not recently cleaned your jewellery, this is the time to do it. Water, dishwashing liquid, and a little sort of soft toothbrush, or any, I suppose any sort of brush would work. And there you go. All right, well, this is going to be me for, I would say, probably the next maybe hour or so. I'm just going to go through and give all of my jewellery a really good clean up. So it's all looking beautiful and sparkling for the new year. And we might call it a day, actually. By the time I do this, and with the rain coming, unfortunately, I got that little tiny bit of gardening stuff done, but I just don't think, I'm just looking out the window now, I don't think I'm going to get in any other gardening today. So I'm going to bid you farewell, and I'm going to see you next week for another new video. I really hope that you will join me for that. See you later.